Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oh, nicely done. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We move from the outside world into this space now, and how good it is to be together.
Hine matov umanayim shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov shevet anu gam yachad. Hine matov shevet anu gam yachad.
Bruchim habayim, welcome. It's so wonderful to see all of you here. You may have know that song as Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad, and you may have noticed that some of us are singing anu, which is a contraction. Achim means how good it is, literally when brothers sit together, but not all of us identify as a brother. So we say anu, which is a contraction for all of us, and how grateful we are to have each and every individual here. I'm Rabbi Ruth Zlotnick, and I'm joined by Rabbi Laura Rumpf. By playing the role of Chava Morel this morning, we're so grateful that Jacob Glickman, our Director of Jewish Experience, is helping us as a Shliach Tzibor, as bringing our prayers to the community. We also have Rabbi Debbie joining us, as well as two incredible young leaders in our community. And so, Jesse and Noah, thank you so much for sharing the Torah of your soul. We also thank Sean and Doug for bringing their musical gifts to this moment, and to Ronnie and Diana, who welcomed us, and to Jamie, who is connecting us not just as a community here in this space, even though we are so grateful each and every one of you are here, but also to our friends at home. Some of them may be even in hospital rooms, maybe their loved ones who are from far away. And so we're going to ask you if you're able to turn to that red light over there. And let's say Shabbat Shalom to everyone at home. Shabbat Shalom. And then I kind of hear them saying Shabbat Shalom back, which is awesome. And now I suspect you may know the person you're sitting next to, maybe you don't, but let's take a moment to say Shabbat Shalom to someone we've never met before. Take a moment to do that.
Shabbat Shalom.
And then
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat. We like to say that this is our Jewish home, and when anyone comes into our home, this may be your first time, and you may feel like you're a stranger to this place, but we don't want anyone to leave feeling that way. We want everyone to leave feeling like a friend. And so if you don't mind, if this is your first time at Temple Beth Am, can you raise your hand, please? Wonderful. Oh, well, last night doesn't count. That's okay. So I just learned a lot about your family, Noah. Just saying. And so for all of our regulars, I hope you looked around and saw who's a first timer here. And so we always like when we have a lot of folks here who may not be familiar with our services to just give you a brief introduction to our prayer book. If you would be so kind as to turn to page 80, please. And this is a 2-page layout, a pretty typical one. These are our blessings for every day. You'll be hearing more about them in just a moment. But what you see on the right-hand side of the layout is that there is Hebrew, our ancestral sacred language, and to the left of it is a transliteration. If you're not familiar with Hebrew or your Hebrew's a little rusty, that can help you participate in that part. And then just below it is a faithful translation of the blessing. Our blessings come from all sorts of parts of our 3,000-year-old history, and so some of them speak to us more than others. So on the left-hand side of the page are variations on the theme of the blessings that we're saying. You'll also notice throughout our prayer book that there are commentary below. There are comments in the margin to let you know where we are. The idea is that this is a portal, and there are lots of different doorways into this prayer moment, and there's one that's just right for you. And we hope you bring the fullness of who you are. We hope that as a community, we are transformed to bring Shabbat peace and Shabbat joy into the world to help heal this world. And our rabbis teach, actually, that we ourselves are a vessel for blessing, and that we should try and find 100 opportunities each day to bless the world around us. To help us get a running start on that, it is my honor to invite Diana Brement, who is the chair of our Minyan engagement team, who helps us uplift and elevate our worship life here at Temple Beth Am.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Mazal Tov to our young people up here and their families. We're going to start on page 80 with Nasim B'chol Yom, the blessings for daily miracles. You'll get a start on the count of your 100 blessings a day. We'll do more, of course, in the service, and I hope you'll go out in the world on this beautiful day this afternoon and keep looking for blessings. I'm going to chant this. If you don't know it already, you'll pick it up pretty quickly. And I'm going to alternate for the endings of each blessing in Hebrew and English, starting with English, 80, 82, and 84. Please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten laef koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael, or your whatever your heritage. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tefarah. And it's our custom at Temple Beth Am to add one more blessing of your own. So take a second to think of something that is a blessing especially to you. And we'll start with the chanting of the Hebrew and then just finish with whatever your blessing is. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given me family.
Jesse and Noah were remarking right before services at how special it is to have this weaving of different communities of family and friends. So as we call each other together for a minyan, we prepare to rise for Baruch Hu, which is specifically the moment in our service where we are acknowledging being a community in prayer. We also get to acknowledge this unique moment in time when this group of people, for one time only, is together in a prayer space in honor of these two. So please rise in body or in spirit. We turn to Baruch Hu on page 108.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Please be seated. And it is now my great honor to call our bat mitzvah, Jessie Shea, to the bima. And the first prayer she'll be leading for us is on page 110, Yotzer Or. Please join with us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer Or uvareh Hoshe, Oseh Shalom uvareh et hakol, Hama'ir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha berachamim, Uvtuvo mehadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma'rabu ma'aseha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'ah ha'aretz kinyaneha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al sheva ma'aseh yadeha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita, yefa'aruha selah. Or hadash al Tzion ta'ir, v'nizkeh hulanu mehera loro, baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot.
This is a great time for us to practice a phrase we will use often throughout this service, and that phrase is Yasher Koach. Can you say that with me? Yasher Koach. So instead of applauding wildly, as we might be tempted to do, as our two B'nai Mitzvah students are leading us in such an incredible way, the phrase that we use in a prayer space is Yasher Koach, which essentially means force be with you. You've got this. And we see you and we see how beautifully you are leading, and we want you to keep going. So we'll use that phrase whenever we're inspired. And we will continue now. Jesse's going to lead us on page 112 with the prayer Ahava Rabbah, meaning abundant love.
Ahava Rabbah Haftanu Adonai Eloheinu Hemla Gidava Vitera Hamalta Aleinu Bavor Avotenu Ve'imotenu Shabbat Tuveha Avotenu Ve'imotenu Vatilamdem hu kehaim Kem tehonenu utlamdenu Ham Rahem aleinu Leten belibenu lehavin ul haskil lishmor lilmod ulelamed lishmor velasot ulkayem et kol divrei Talmud Torah teha be'ahava V'ha'ernenu v'torah teha v'dabek libenu benvoteha V'yahed levavenu le'ahava u'yira et shemeha V'lo nevosh V'lo kalem V'lo nikashem Le'olam va'eh Ki v'shem kodsheha Hagadol v'hanora batachnu Nagila v'nizmeha bishuateha V'havi'enu l'shalom Me'arbaka fota'aretz Tolihenu komemiut le'artzenu Ki elpo el Yeshuotata Uvanu vaharta V'kerav tanu l'shim ha'hagadol Sela, Sela, Be'emet, Lehodot Leha, Uyad Hedha, Bahava, Baruch Atah Adonai, Haboher Be'amo Yisrael, Behava.
Washer Koach. Very nice. We continue now as we turn to the words of Shema. For one time, it is also a sneak preview into our Torah portion, the words of Shema, this very prayer that we say every time we are anchoring a prayer service together that proclaims our oneness, is actually found in this week's Torah portion. So you'll actually get to hear a lot more about the origins of this prayer and the meaning of it later on in our service. But for now, I will invite you to rise if it is your custom, to close your eyes if it allows you to drop more deeply into a moment of centeredness, of oneness. We're on page 114 with the words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We turn to Ve'ahavta, also in this week's Torah portion, which Jesse will lead us in, starting on page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha bechol nafshecha uv'chol nafshecha ve'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha vedibarta bam beshivteha beveteha uvlechteha vaderet uvshokbeha uvkumeha ukshartam leot al yadeha Vehayu letotafot bein eineha uktavtam al mezuzot beiteha uvishareha leman tiskiru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'heitem kedoshim lelohehem Ani Adonai Elohehem Asher hotzeiti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehayot lahem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohehem.
Amet.
Yasher koach.
And so, Jesse and Noah, I'm going to invite you to come down here with me for just a moment. Yasher koach, what a beautiful job you did, Jesse, by leading us. We're so excited for you, Noah, to be leading us. And so I have a question for you. Was it hard work to prepare for this morning? Kind of. How about for you?
You could say that.
You could say that. There were times maybe when you felt like you didn't really want to do it, but you had to do it so that you could be here and lead us and teach us this morning. But can you imagine what you're going to feel like at lunch? Like, how do you think you might feel?
Hungry.
How about you, Jessie?
Proud.
Proud, exactly.
That too.
Yeah, what she said. And relieved. And I want to say that in so many ways, what you are doing right now is like what our ancestors did in Egypt. They had years and years of hardship, and then the seas parted, and they stood in sacred space with their whole community, made it to the other side, and sang, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like the one that's created us all. And they were able to dance and celebrate and know that they were together with people who love them and love the divine and love being created together. And so we have a custom here at Temple Beth Am. When we sing this song of freedom, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, we stand up, we sing, we dance, and so we invite you to join our B Mitzvah students leading us in that dancing celebration. Mi chamocha, page 122. What?
Mi
okay.
kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot oseh belem, norah tehilot oseh belem. Shira chadasha shiphu geulim, l'shimcha al sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu, ve'himlehu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot oseh belem, norah tehilot oseh belem. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, ya lai la lai la, ya lai lai, yai lai lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya lai la lai lai, yai lai, ya lai lai. Yai lai lai lai, ya lai 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 lai.
And so beautifully done. And we find our places back. And we'll take like a nice deep breath in because we just got a couple of those steps in that we want to get every day. And then I'm going to invite you to, we are now sort of in the heart of our morning service. We are about to pray Hatzafilah, the Amidah. It is our central prayer before we move into the Torah service. And we call it the standing prayer because we are like angels standing before God. And so we invite you to rise in body or spirit as we are so grateful that Noah will be leading us in the tefillah on page 124.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor, Vehanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekone Hakol, Vezocher Chaste Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nechem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LeYoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'gevurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch Atah Adonai Melech HaKol.
Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam.
Page 130.
Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kakatuv al yad neviecha, v'kara zel ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Meloch ol haaretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo, Echadu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Vehu Yashmienu, Berachamav Le'nei Kol Chai, Ani Adonai Elolechem, Yimloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yiksion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah, Ledor Vador Nagid God Lecha, Ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We turn to page 134 as Noah leads us in Kedushat Hayom. You may be seated.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu retzei v'imnuchatenu kachenu b'mitzvotecha v'tein chalkenu b'toratecha sabenu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha v'ta'er libeinu le'avdecha be'emet ratzon. Shabbat kodshecha v'yonechu v'Yisrael mekadosh shemecha Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Yasher koach. With that, Noah will let you take a seat and a nice deep breath. And for each of us now, we have some moments of silence to either continue with the words in the prayer book starting on page 136, the prayers of your heart, the meditations that are particularly resonant for you this Shabbat morning. We'll come back together in song in a few moments.
Yehiyu leratzon, imre fi, vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, v'goali, Yehiyu leratzon, imre fi, vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, v'goali,
And so we have arrived at our morning services mountaintop. We are at the Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for reading Torah when door to door, from generation to generation, Torah has been handed down to young people. And so it will be for Noah and Jesse that this morning, from the arms of those in the generations before them, they will receive Torah. But at Temple Beth Am, it's not just, I taught actually Jesse and Noah a new term yesterday. It's called nachas, which I talk about as like pride married with love. And it's not just your families who feel nachas, but it is our whole community. And so we are always grateful when we have a member of our community who's willing to offer blessings on behalf of all of us to our B'nai Mitzvah students. And it is an honor to invite a member of our board of directors, our former treasurer, which is proof that no good deed goes unpunished, TJ, who will be leading us in this blessing and representing our community. Stutman. I just had a senior moment, and I was like, I've known TJ for 12 years, cannot get your last name.
I'm wearing a name tag. It's the tallis obscuring the name tag. That's the problem. We thank God for the gift of Torah and for the wondrous opportunity to share it with a new generation. Today, you ensure the continuation of the legacy of Moses and Miriam, who first taught Torah to our people. As we prepare to hand the Torah to you now, it is our hope that just as you will carry it in your hands today, you will carry it within your heart always, as a perpetual expression of faith in God and commitment to your people.
Amen. And we'll invite you to stay up here, TJ, so you can be part of the handing down, Dor Lador. But now I'd like to invite a few people to this bima who I think Jesse and Noah know fairly well. Noah, your parents, Ted and Julia Sandler, and Jesse, your parents, Jay and Jane Shea. And we'd also like to invite your grandparents up to this bima. And so we invite Susan Rachel Sandler, George Dayak and Vera Dayak, as well as Alan and Fran Shea and Nancy Rustine. I invite the community to rise in body or in spirit. The blessings begin on page 244.
Ein kamocha b'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kamasecha.
And then I'll take it back.
Malchutecha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim eitiva v'rtzoncha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu, melech el ram v'nisa, Adon olamim.
See, and Noah, we talked about this moment. Listen. It said at Mount Sinai you couldn't even hear a bird chirp because there's this sense of awe. And I want you to look at the line before you, at your parents and your grandparents. We're all standing here at this mountaintop as our ancestors stood millennia ago. And God in love and faith gave this Torah to our ancestors to pass down from generation to generation, dor lador, and to find within it words that were paths to peace. And so it is Noah, and so it is Jesse. At this moment, from the arms of your community into the arms of the generation who proceed before you, we give you this Torah with faith and love.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula, V'Hagevura V'Tiferet, V'Hanetzach V'Hahod. Ki ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki ho b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed, Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimilut chasadim, Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimilut chasadim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Memu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romeh.
We're going to do one more round, too. But first, I'd like to invite James Adam and Natalia Adam to come up and undress the ark. And let's keep singing.
1, 2, 3, 4. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kodsho.
Will you take these two off? Take the two silver things off and put it on the table over there.
Lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
And then you can take the cover off. No, the cover, the material. Take that off.
Adonai
And hold it,
Eloheinu
please.
romemu. Romemu Adonai
And now you're related to
Eloheinu
Noah, right?
ve'yishtachavu
Don't give him a hug or
lehar
fist bump.
kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kodsho.
Please be seated. As Rabbi Laura, except for you, Jesse, I'm afraid we got some work for you to do. Because as Rabbi Laura mentioned, this week's Torah portion, Be'et Hanan, is really one of the special ones. The book of Deuteronomy is often called the second telling. And, Moses, who in the book of Exodus said, I'm slow of tongue, ends up knowing he's not going to make it to the promised land. And the whole book of Deuteronomy are all of his words. So it's a lot. But in this week's Torah portion, there's so much richness in addition to the Shema. And so I'm really excited for you to hear the teaching from Jesse's soul on this week's Torah portion.
Take all the rules away. How can we live if we don't change? Beyonce said this in her song Satellite, which relates to my Torah portion a lot. In my parsha, God tells Moses and the Israelites that they cannot add anything or take away anything from the commandments that God showed them. God said that they must follow the rules in everything God says and not change anything about the commandments. Relating back to Beyonce's lyrics, I don't know if we need to take all the rules away, but I agree that change helps us be better people. I think it is very problematic to not be able to change rules upon a society. I think this because the world is changing all the time, and if we just kept the same rules for everyone, then rules would eventually become outdated, just like how parts of the Torah are outdated to our society today. An example of Torah's outdated nature is the lack of women's rights and the approval of slavery as a practice. The idea of not changing laws ever comes up in this week's parsha. The Torah says in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2, "You shall not add anything to what I command you. nor take anything away from it, but keep the commandments of the eternal God that I can join upon you. I think it becomes a problem because if laws from a long time ago have control over a society of people in another time period, then it's not relevant to what's happening to the current time. Today's things like women's equal rights, trans rights, and religious freedoms are important and relevant to a lot of people. The Torah doesn't mention or keep up to date with some of these things. Still, other rabbis have interpreted the Torah differently. Rabbi Max Chaikin stated, if we had to choose one Torah portion to summarize the entire Torah, which would it be? We could make arguments in favor of various portions, but we would have to consider Parshat Ve'et Hanan a strong contender. But I think every generation reinterprets the Torah in a different way throughout time, so even if we don't change the rules, people's way of life changes. In my Torah portion, God is believed to be the one making the rules. However, many people interpret the Torah with the understanding that it was God's words written by men. Since humans make mistakes, this suggests another possible problem. This problem is that the writers might have changed or misheard something. This means that the unchangeable laws might not even be the original laws. There are many differences between the Torah and things in today's time. For example, much of the Torah is based on agricultural community and society in our time period. Everyone is not required to farm, and most of us do not have our own farm. Therefore, many of these laws don't apply to this. As Rabbi Reuven Firestone said, our tradition does not expect us to find the answers to the riddle of the Torah, but it does expect us to grapple with the questions. I think this means that the Torah gives us guidelines, and we have an obligation to adapt the rules to the current time so it's more meaningful to our lives today.
Beautiful. We're so in need of that messaging. So thank you, Jesse. And any Devar Torah that starts with Queen Bey is a good Devar Torah from my perspective. And so we're going to give Rabbi Debbie, who will be serving as Jesse's Gabai, which is someone who helps you because this is actually a very challenging but also a really wonderful privilege, and everyone needs support for that. And so, and Jesse will be chanting from chapter 4 of the book of Deuteronomy, verses 1 through 8. If you're following along at home, we recommend going to sefaria.org, S-E-F-A-R-I-A. We have two versions of the Torah commentary. One is more embossed, it's newer, and you can find Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1 on page 1188 for that one. And if you have an older looking, much simpler cover, that is the older Torah commentary, and Jesse's Torah portion will begin on page 1339. And with that said, it is such an honor to welcome back to this bima someone who became bar mitzvah just a few years ago, and someone I think you know fairly well, Jesse. It's an honor to invite your brother Micah to come on up. Ya'amod Mordechai ben Yisrael melech v'Yehudit.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Ve'ata Yisrael, Shema el hahukim ve'el hamishpatim, asher anohi melamed etem la'asot laman teheyu, uvatem v'rishtem et ha'aretz, asher Adonai Elohei avotehem noten lahem, lo tosifu al hadavar asher anohi mitzaveh etem, velo tigreu mimenu lishmor et mitzvot Adonai Elohim asher Anohi mitzaveh etem Einehem haraot et asher asa Adonai v'va'al peor ki hohaish asher hala aharei va'al peor hishmido Adonai Elohei ha bekir beha ve'atem hadivakim ba'Adonai Eloheihem hayim kolhem hayom.
Yasher koach. Just do the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And that was wonderful. You can give your sister a little hug if you want. And then if you'll go stand by Rabbi Debbie. And now, Jesse, it is my honor to call you to this Torah for the very first time as a bat mitzvah. And I know your parents, Jay and Jane Shea, would love to be standing by your side as you bless and chant Torah. So I invite you back up as I say, Ta'amod ha-bat mitzvah Ariela bat Yisrael melech ve'yehudit hasheni.
Baruch et Adonai hamvara.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim ve'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Re'eh limadati etem hukim umishpatim ka'asher tzivani Adonai Elohai la'asot ken v'kerev ha'aretz asher aten no Ha'im shama lerishta ushmartem va'asitem kihi chochmatem uvinatem le'enei ha'amim asher yishme'u et kol hahukim ha'eleh ve'amru rak haham ve'navon hagoy hagadol hazeh ki migoy gadol asher lo Elohim kerovim elav ka'Adonai Eloheinu v'chol kor'einu elav umi goy gadol asher lo hukim umishpatim tzadikim kahol haTorah hazot asher anohi noten lifneihem hayom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam natan b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten Ten HaTorah.
Amen. And we can say a hearty Yasher Koach to you, Jesse. And Micah, I'm going to invite you to have a seat because your folks are going to do for Jesse what they did for you a few years ago, which is offer words of blessing in front of our open Torah.
Wow, we are so proud of you today. As I'm sure is always true of parenting, the time goes quickly, and yet there have certainly been some eternal hours along the way. From the time you could talk, you spoke in paragraphs, at least to us, and always told us exactly how things were for you. As you grew and came to share your identity with us, you taught us more about the human experience than you might know.
Jesse, now as we launch you into your Jewish adulthood, we hope you will learn from us and those in your community in the same way that you educated others. We are excited for you to enter this next chapter in a place where you feel so comfortable. We are thrilled by your love of your friends from camp and synagogue and how you have made this space one of fun and happiness. You have always been ready for Gone on Wednesdays and Sundays and hop out of the car with confidence. We hope a love and respect for your community will stay with you, that the friendships sown will grow as you take on new responsibilities. We hope you will learn that you will remember the learnings of Tikkun Olam and Derech Eretz, of healing the world and following a righteous path, to the joys and inevitable trials of the years ahead. We know that life will bring blessings and challenges, some of which we cannot protect you from. There are hard things which you will have to tackle on your own, and we hope you can do so with kindness and grace, as you've shown today. We believe that you have strength beyond what you are aware of, and that a life of meaning is there for you to explore. We hope you continue to tell the world who you are without apology. Be the best version of yourself, and remember that as a Jewish adult, you are never alone. You walk through the years with your community today and tomorrow, and with the teachings of your ancestors. We stand by your side, as do all that came before.
Jesse, we hope you realize from your experience today that what you once said was impossible has come to pass. May you continue to know the power of possibility through your effort and dedication. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
And no parental blessings complete without a hug.
Amen, amen. Mazel tov, Jesse. And as our cups are overflowing with joy and gratitude, we take a moment while Torah is in our midst and while we are in this community of celebration to also offer our prayers of healing, acknowledging that for each of us, there are those in our lives who could use the joy, the gratitude that we're feeling in this room, and who are also in need of prayers for healing of mind, body, and spirit. So I would like now to offer anyone the opportunity, as my hand moves through the room, to share a name or names out loud of anyone that you are thinking of that could use our healing prayers before we share the words of Misha Berach. Holding those names close, we turn to the words of Misha Berach on page 253.
Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May each and everyone know a full and speedy healing of body and soul. Amen. And so it is now an honor to invite Noah Sandler to come forward, and Noah will now share his own insight into a different aspect of Torah. How blessed we are to have such wonderful teachers among us this morning.
Parsha, Vayet Hanan, is one that not only challenges our devotion to Adonai, the Jewish perception of God, but also our interpretation of Adonai. Vayet Hanan is a very important portion in the Torah, as it reminds us in many ways of what being a Jew means. The portion contains the 10 Commandments, the main rules of being a Jew. There's Ve'ahavta, a prayer about our love for Adonai, and, most importantly, the Shema, a powerful prayer said daily that brings us peace and faith. It consists of 2 well-known verses, the first one being, Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Rashi, a French rabbi from the Middle Ages, noted that the Shema suggests a connection between all humans that is rooted from Adonai is one. He explains, Hear, O Israel, Adonai our God, Adonai is one, translates to, Hear, O Israel, Adonai, whom we recognize as our God, will one day be accepted by all people as one, and their belief in one God will unite as one human family. I believe that the Shema is uniting all Jews when it says, Hear, O Israel, Adonai is one. Israel being the Jews, and Adonai being the oneness that inspires Jews to bond with the rest of the world as one fellowship. Right after the Shema is the Ve'ahavta, which is another essential prayer. The first line translates to, And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. As stated earlier, this is linked with the devotion that Jews have for Adonai. Yet sometimes the Ve'ahavta's meaning is not what is important to Jews. Many people who practice religion in any form, in fact, don't have faith in a God. According to a Pew Research Center study, around 29% of American Jews say they don't believe in God. Yet many of them still participate in Jewish traditions and rituals. Similarly, these patterns are apparent in other religions, such as in mainline Protestant communities, Islam, and also certain Buddhist traditions, where ritual practice and community involvement continue, despite not everyone believing in God. For most, it's not that the Ve'ahavta says you're required to love Adonai, or devote yourself entirely to pleasing Adonai. It's more about the connection to Judaism you feel when you pray. Adonai is seen as a person to some, yet to me, Adonai is an invisible guide through the difficulties of life, which you connect to while you pray. As it appears in Vayet Hanan, chapter 5, verse 19 reads, "The Eternal One spoke those words," referring to the Ten Commandments, "to your whole congregation at the mountain with a mighty voice out of the fire and the dense clouds." Although Adonai's appearance may seem dramatic here, Adonai talks to the congregation as a voice that instructs, that helps. When I first joined Temple Beth Am in 4th grade, I worried I wouldn't be able to connect with the other kids at GON, or that maybe I wasn't Jewish enough, just because I didn't believe in God. But over time, I discovered two important things. First, that not all Jews believe in God, and second, that simply spending time with Jewish people and engaging in Jewish traditions can create a powerful sense of connection to Judaism. Just being with this amazing community has affected my life in a handful of beneficial ways. I've made a lot more friends from Temple Beth Am. See you guys over there. And also from conversation starters at parties with other Jews, such as, "What is your favorite Jewish holiday?" Or, one that I prefer, "Is it normal to judge people by their bagel and lax assembly technique?" I've learned more about my Ashkenazi roots, as well as the consequential history of the Holocaust and anti-Semitism, which we studied all of 7th grade in the GON. But most importantly, I've found a new part of my identity that this day sets in stone. A big theme in general that Vayet Hanan demonstrates is connection itself. Connection is something that has lived in all of us through the Great Depression, through the Holocaust, and most importantly, when we weren't even allowed to connect in the distancing days of COVID-19. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote, "Faith is not the clinging to a shrine, but the finding of the sacred in even the most ordinary hours, to feel the taste of Sabbath on weekdays too." We say prayers to get through hard times and to know that we're not alone when we face hardships. Because a large reason prayers are meaningful today is that the Israelites believed in a higher power that was able to get them through their troubles in life, and their faith becomes our own. I want you to try to focus on connection in your lives, like connecting with people, connecting with the world around us, or, if you do believe in God, connecting with the spiritual world. You can meditate, recite prayers, or just be with family and friends. But whether you believe in God or not, it's important to see how being a Jew can be so versatile. Religion, I've realized, is a bond between people through beliefs, family, and past experiences. And Vayet Hanan reminds us that our bond's meaning comes from our most valued prayers.
Yasha Koach. And of course, I was shocked to learn that there are some Jews who don't believe in God, right, Noah? No, Noah and I were talking about how there's an old joke about Schwartz and Goldstein go to shul. Schwartz goes to talk to God, and Goldstein goes to talk to Schwartz. So it is an honor to invite up Lisa Goldberg, one of the tutors and a beloved member of our community, who will serve as Gabbai for Noah. And they together will just get Noah situated. I believe we are rolled to the right place. And one of the beautiful things, you may not know that Rabbi Debbie Malserano is our rabbinic lead for B'nai Mitzvah, and all of our students meet with her, and some of them feel strongly about what parts they chant. And so sometimes we have 2 Torah readings that aren't consecutive, and so it is with Jesse and with Noah. So Noah's not going to pick up right after where Jesse left off, but instead I believe really to pick up on some of the themes of your Devar Torah. So Noah will be chanting from Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 19. And if you have the new, more embossed version of our Torah commentary, that begins on page 1199. Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 19 also begins on page 1358 of the older one. Again, it's Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 19. And for the honor of the 3rd Aliyah, but the first one for Noah, as he chants, it's an honor to invite his loved ones, Deborah Siegel, George Dayak, and Samuel Silverstein. Ya'amdu, Devorah bat Moshe, Yaakov ben Yehoshua, V'Shmuel ha'Shalishit. Oh, no. We have all day, you know, Shabbat is just like we're in eternal time here, so.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Nice job.
Amen. Et hadvarim ha'ele diber. Adonai el kol kehalchem bahar mitoch ha'esh ha'ana'an ve'ha'arafel kol gadol ve'lo yasaf vayichtevim al shnei luchot avanim vayitneim elai vayomer Adonai vayaki כשומעכם את הכל מתוך החושך וההר בוער באש ותקרבון אליי כל ראשי שבטיכם וזקניכם ותאמרו הן הרנו אדוני אלוהינו את כבודו ואת גודלו ואת קולו שמענו מתוך האש. היום הזה ראינו כי ידבר אלוהים את האדם וחי. ועתה למה נמות כי תוכננו האש הגדולה הזאת. אם יוספים אנחנו לשמוע את קול אדוני אלוהינו עוד ומתנו.
Yashar Koach, and we'll invite you to do the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And Yashar Koach, I'll invite you to go stand by Lisa. If you want to give Noah a little squeeze on your way over, nothing wrong with that.
all done.
And so it is now an honor to invite two people I think you know fairly well, maybe sorta. Ted and Julia, come up and stand by your son as we call him to Torah for the very first time as a bar mitzvah. And I'll invite you to hold the Torah as I call you, Noah. Ya'amod habar mitzvah Noach Yosef ben Shmuel v'Yael ha'arba'it.
Baruch et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Ki mi chol basar asher shema kol Elohim chayim medaber mitoch ha'esh kamonu vayechi keravata ushma et kol asher yomar Adonai Eloheinu ve'at tidaber elenu et kol asher yadaber Adonai Eloheinu elecha v'shamanu ve'asinu vayishma Adonai et kol divrechem v'daberchem elai vayomer Adonai elai shamati et kol divrei ha'am hazeh asher dibru elecha Hetivu kol asher diberu miyetein v'haya levavam zeh lahem leiraoti v'lishmor et kol mitzvotai kol hayamim למען ייטב להם ולבניהם לעולם.
Yasher Koach. And now the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam napta betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And so we say thank you to Lisa for your beautiful tutoring of this wonderful Torah scholar. I invite your loved ones to have a seat down below. And Noah, as you know, it's a special blessing for a parent to stand by their child's side when they're chanting Torah. And you have been a blessing, I think, from the moment you were born. So your parents would like to share some words.
Noah, we're so grateful to the universe for the privilege of being your parents and for seeing you reach this milestone today with more grace than me and a lot of enthusiasm.
You've always been an inquisitive soul, and we've enjoyed exploring the world with you since you were small. We're so proud of the kind, mature, responsible young man you've become. Always fun to be around, with infectious enthusiasm for many topics, and willing to try most things at least once.
What we wish for you, we wish for all children, that you be safe, well-fed, and surrounded by family and friends as we are here in this moment. We wish for you to continue to be a person of character, strong but not too tough on yourself or on others, gentle but not weak when courage is called for.
Wherever you journey, may you walk an authentic, righteous path and not be afraid. Whenever you speak, may you spread words of wisdom and friendship. May you spark and spread joy with your music and your sense of humor. May you lend your skills in math, writing, geography, and even sports and ski resort knowledge to worthy causes. May the wisdom of so many Jewish generations move through you, and may you be blessed as our ancestors have been blessed. Always know there is a people and a rich heritage to which you belong, and a community of friends and family who love and support you. And from this sacred place, know that you are connected to all who dwell on earth. Live long and prosper, Noah, and may the force be with you. All right.
Oof. Watch the Torah.
Yeah.
I know.
Mazel tov to all of you. And now it's time to lift and dress Torah before we delve into some more sacred texts. And to do so, it's an honor to invite Eric Lefebvre and Sarah Rutstein to lift and dress Torah. Please rise in body or spirit. So if you'll hold this like that, and you've done this before, I heard. Great. So here.
V'zot haTorah asher tzam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai
You'll get the silver.
Moshe.
Yai da 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 da. Yeah. And then you're gonna you'll put this over here. Please be seated. So this every Shabbat we read not just from the first 5 books of the Torah portion, but also from the central section called Nevi'im, or prophets. And this Shabbat, falling as it does after one of our days of mourning and fasting, Tisha B'Av, is now one of our, we are entering into the preparatory stage for the high holy days, when we engage in Teshuvah, in repairing the relationships that need to be repaired and renewing ourselves. And we recognize that that can be sometimes hard. So in this first Shabbat, it's known as Shabbat Nachamu, and that's from the prophet Isaiah, who says, Nachamu, Nachamu, my people, be comforted, my people. And so we're very excited that Noah will begin our Haftarah, and Jesse will conclude it. It is Isaiah chapter 40. We'll be reading verses 23 through 26. In the newer version of our Torah commentary, it's on page 1225. In our older version, it's page 1598. Once again, we're beginning with chapter 40, verse 23, but first Noah will sing the blessing before Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'eh ha'amet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Hanoten roznim le'ayin shoftei eretz katohu asa af bonita'u af bozora'u af bosheresh ba'aretz Gizam v'gam nashav bahem v'yivashu usara kakash tisa'em.
Ve'el mi tedamyuni ve'eshve yomar kadosh se'umaram Motzi v'mispar tzva'am lehulam Beshem yiknyem yikra Mero'onim ve'amitz koach ish lo nedar Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Tor kol haolamim Tzadik bechol hadorot Ha'el ha'ne'eman Ha'omer ve'oseh Hamdaber umkayem Shekol divarav Emet v'tzedek Al ha'torah Ve'al ha'avodah Ve'al ha'nevi'im Ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha v'limnuha Lechayet ol tifaret Al chachol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modin la Umbarhim ota Yitbarach shimha Befi kol hai Tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Makadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. And as we did in days of old, the high five happens after Haftarah. The time has come to return Torah to the Ark, and so it's an honor to invite Olivia Lefebvre, Samson Lefebvre, Andre Moulin, and Colette Moulin to open the Ark. I invite you to please rise in body or spirit. The prayers are on page 256. You direct the kid.
It's Chaim hi lemachazikim ba.
Will you pull this?
Betom heha meushan tiracheha darkei noam v'chol netzivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nafshuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Nicely done. Please be seated. Nicely done, nicely done. And please be seated unless your name is Noah or Jesse. And so I'm going to invite the two of you to come on over here, and Jacob as well. Because, boy, how lucky we are, along with Rabbi Debbie, wherever she is, there she is, to be able to offer both of you blessings together. What an incredible leadership team you have been for us this morning. And really, the ways in which each of you, in your own unique and specially talented way, embraced this task this morning and taught us from your souls and role modeled for us what it means to be a bar or bat mitzvah is incredible. The one thing I want to share with you is what my teacher shared with me a long time ago, which is that becoming a bat mitzvah, becoming a bar mitzvah is not a one-time event. It's not just happening now. And as we've talked about, this is the beginning of your Jewish journey moving forward. How blessed we are to have Noah and Jesse representing Jewish values in the world. You will be a blessing not just to your families, not just to our community, not just to the Jewish people, but to the whole human family. And your dad invoked the words that are actually based on the oldest words of blessing in the Hebrew tradition. That's the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. It was the priests who first did this, but we ourselves are just going to wrap you in our talitot as the three of us together offer you this blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you safe.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
And Noah and Jesse, it's so clear that the light of the divine shines from you. May it continue to shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you trust that you are accompanied on each of your wonderful paths wherever they lead from this moment forward, and may both of your paths be blessed with shalom, with wholeness and peace.
Amen. And we say amen. We're going to invite you just to stay here for one more moment because the time has come to say Aleinu l'shabeach on the top of page 282. Please rise, and if you guys will open the ark for us. Yeah, go for it. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol.
Latet gidula leotzer breshit, shehu note shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, u'Moshe avikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo begovhei meromim, hu Eloheinu enod, v'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch. Page 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. In addition to just blessing us with your Torah and having the gratitude of your community, I want to let you know, Jesse and Noah, that we also have some gifts that you'll be receiving afterwards on behalf of Temple Beth Am. And those gifts are a certificate, so that when you wonder what your Hebrew name is for the next time, you got it right there. We also have a book about the holidays that I think will be really meaningful to you as you move forward. But most importantly, we are so excited to give you a special gift of a mezuzah, which is from an organization called Tikkun Hayam, which means to repair the sea. And it takes plastic out of ocean and makes out of the ocean and makes ritual objects, so that you'll know that you're always in a space that's blessed with the love of your community. And before we conclude our services this morning, there is no gathering of community that's complete without a moment of memory. And so we think about our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, and those who died at this season in years past, and those who we draw into our hearts as our own. Particularly, the B'nai Mitzvah families are thinking about loved ones who once sat by your side. And so the Sandler family is remembering Louis Sandler, Charles Kremen, and Gloria Dayak Turner. And the Shea family is remembering, and actually this is your maternal grandfather, it's his actual yahrzeit date, Harry Rutstein. We're also remembering on behalf of the Shea family, Reba and Joseph Rutstein, Dolores and Walter Tebow, Shirley and Murray Shea, and Esther and Morris Gastworth. In addition, we're remembering these loved ones in our community: Brenda Butzel, mother of Kira and Laura, mother-in-law to Joel and David, grandmother to Ayla, Thea, Litton, and James. In addition, we're remembering these loved ones who have died at this season in years past: Rose Berthoff, Julian Bernson, Bruno Borenstein, Alan Gasner, Genya Botgersh, Sharon Glickman, Andy Greendorfer, Louis Gutterson, Charles Kaufman, Ernest Lawrence, Esther Liss Greenstein, Jerome Milder, Yaakov Naor, Louis Newman, Frederick Palmer, Pedro Munez, William Rifkin, Helen Rosen, Stephen Scheidt, Irving Silver, Bernard Tonkin, and I invite you now to share the name of anyone you're thinking at this time of memory, and if you choose to, let us know their relationship to you. If you've lost a loved one in the last week or last month or last year, we invite you to please rise and remain standing. And if you're here remembering a loved one on their yahrzeit, to please rise. And then it's our custom at Temple Beth Am to see the mourners among us and rise with them in solidarity and to help keep the legacy of their loved ones alive. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, Alma dibra chirute v'amlik malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dekol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'yimru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mibarach le'olam olmei olmaya, Yit barak v'yit tabak v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh v'yit hadar v'yit haleh v'yit halal shemei dekudasha brechu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'miran v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen. Zikronam libracha, may their memories be an enduring blessing. Please be seated. So just a couple of quick thank yous, and then we can bless the Shabbat and get to the Kiddush luncheon. Thank you so much to Rabbi Laura and to Jacob Glickman. I'm getting to you guys last, to Sean and to Doug and to Jamie and to Ronnie and to Diana. We can thank our wonderful shamashim, the folks who greeted us at the door, by bringing our prayer books back to the carts. That'll get them to the bagels and lox a little faster. But we won't judge how they make their bagels and lox. Also, if you see Jose or Alberto, they are really the soul of our community. Our facilities team helps all of us be able to gather together. And I just want to make one quick announcement, which is, yesterday we welcomed the newest member of our rabbinic team, Rabbi Jesse Epstein, a newly minted rabbi, fresh off the press. And next week we have one of my favorite events of the year, one of my favorite annual events, which is our outdoor barbecue with lots of music. I hear there may be some beer, only because Rabbi Epstein has the only Jewish brewing company in North America. And so we hope you'll sign up for that. But meanwhile, first we have to bless this Shabbat and end up breaking bread and celebrating these two wonderful students. And so I'm going to invite Jesse and Noah to come back here. And I would like to invite anyone who has become bar or bat mitzvah. I'm about to say it. Bar or bat mitzvah in the last year, and I see some of you here, or in the year to come. We invite you to please come up and join your peers who did such a beautiful job. Come on up. Give the bread. This is so awesome. Look at this. Hi, it's so good to see you. All right. I'm going to invite Noah and Jesse to lift the glass as we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagav. And they'll take a sip. And then we're going to bring the bread over here, the challah over here, and we're going to make a circle with our B'nai Mitzvah students today. And our B'nai Mitzvah class will make sure that this is a kosher blessing and have some of the challah as we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'ah. You guys can take a bite and then go back to your seats. Jesse and Noah and Rabbi Laura, I would invite you to come on down here, Jesse and Noah, because we are going to conclude. It said that every Jewish prayer is ultimately a prayer for peace. We're going to end with Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Creates peace on high. Help us bring shalom, shlemut, peace and wholeness to this world. Shabbat shalom. Thank you for joining us.